Hey art friends, it's Miss Rose from the Cary Area Library for another art project you can do at home. Today we're going to be working with art foil, which is really fun, and lines, patterns, and shapes. So let's get started. The supplies you'll need for this art project are a piece of white drawing paper, 10 by 10, a square piece of art foil, which is heavier than aluminum foil, any color, 2 sheets of lighter paper, like copy paper, those are 6 by 6, some ideas for patterns, markers, a pencil, a pen, a popsicle stick, a wood skewer, and a roll of masking tape, and then some newspaper or a magazine to kind of cushion the surface under the foil while you're working on it. The first thing we want to do is come up with a drawing of what we will transfer onto the foil. We'll be drawing our ideas in pencil on a 6 by 6 piece of white copy paper. You're just going to be drawing lines, shapes, patterns. You're not going to be coloring in the areas. So it's a good idea to have some pattern ideas. So let's go ahead and start. It's a good idea to do 2 samples, then you can pick which one you like the best to transfer to the foil. Okay, so I'm just going to start right in the middle of my 6 by 6 square. You can draw a shape in the middle first. I'm just going to start with a heart. And then I kind of like to divide my areas up, so then I know to use a different pattern in each section. And you can have as many sections as you want, and then just fill in the sections with different patterns. So let's just do a wave line. We can do dots inside of our heart. And maybe we'll do some swirls. Alright, so you're going to continue doing this, putting a different pattern in each of your sections. Okay, I've done my 2 drawings. You'll notice I used patterns in each section, kind of changed it up. I'm going to choose which one I want to transfer to my foil, and I think I'm going to go with this one. Okay, before you begin tracing your drawing onto your foil, put some newspaper underneath the foil to kind of cushion it, or if you don't have newspaper, you can use a magazine. Just needs to be a little bit thicker so it cushions the foil underneath. So I'm going to take my drawing that I did and put some tape. I like to do this so just your drawing doesn't move around. It stays in one spot on the foil. And I'm just using masking tape. You can use Scotch tape. Okay, I'm going to lay it on top of the foil. And you're going to use your pen this time so you can trace over all the lines and see that what you've traced over. If you use a pencil again, it's hard to tell what you've traced over already. So I'm just using my pen. You're going to use a little bit of pressure. You don't want to press too hard. You don't want to rip your paper. And you can also kind of pick up your paper and see that it's coming through onto the foil. So you're just going to trace over all your pencil lines. All right, so you're going to just continue tracing your lines till you've done them all. And again, it's always a good idea to lift the paper up, make sure it's transferring to the foil. Now you're going to decide what side you like better to mount on your white drawing paper. So you can pick your silver side or the bronze side, and you might want to use your popsicle stick and the wood skewer to make lines pop out more. You'll notice that they're raised, but I can also like use a little more pressure on some areas to get those areas to pop out even more. So this is what you would use your skewer. You can use your popsicle stick. Since I'm having my bronze side, that's the side that's going to be showing, I might want to go on the back and kind of use my popsicle stick to kind of press areas to make them raise up even more. You can't really tell, but when you're working on this at home, you'll be able to see the difference. You'll be able to feel the texture of it being raised using your popsicle stick and your wood skewer. All right, now I'm ready. I think my foil is just the way I want it to be. I'm going to mount the copper side up because I like the way that looks better than the silver, but it's your choice. And a lot of the other you can buy different colored foils too, so you might not get these colors. So I'm just going to put some tape on the back. I'm using masking tape again, but you can use Scotch tape or whatever you have. And I'm going to mount mine right in the middle. Okay, and then I'm going to use my markers, and I'm going to go ahead and continue the patterns outside of the foil onto my paper. So I'm using my circle pattern, so I'm just going to continue doing that. Probably would have been a good idea if I had finished my lines, my sections, draw those out so I know where my patterns kind of fit in there. Okay, change colors. I'm gonna go green. I'll do these little swirls. Alright, so you're just going to continue around on your paper and continue the patterns off of the foil, moving on to your paper. This is like a spider web pattern. Alright, so continue just moving around your foil. Alright, here's my finished project. As you can see, I finished the patterns outside of the foil in different colored markers. I also used some crayons and colored lightly the white because I didn't want it to be so bright with the white. And that's our foil project we did today. I hope you guys had fun, and I'll see you next time for another art project from the Cary Area Library.